What's something people don't know about the recent airstrike in Beirut? I'm here with some breaking news out of the Middle East. An Israeli airstrike on southern Beirut has left at least 8 people dead and dozens more injured. The target? Ibrahim Aqil, a senior Hezbollah military figure. If you're not familiar with him, he's the head of Hezbollah Special Operations and one of their top commanders. The airstrike completely obliterated a multi-story building in a residential neighborhood. Rescue workers have been working tirelessly to pull survivors from the rubble. Eyewitnesses described a chaotic scene with ambulances and fire trucks rushing in as people fled their homes. The Israeli Defense Forces confirmed the strike but didn't provide details about the casualties. Interestingly, the White House says they weren't given advance notice of the attack, although they noted this isn't unusual. This is actually the third Israeli airstrike on Beirut this year, which is really ramping up the tension in the region. Now, following the airstrike, Hezbollah launched a barrage of at least 130 rockets into northern Israel. This prompted air raid sirens and wildfires were ignited by the rocket fire. Hezbollah took responsibility, saying they targeted Israeli military installations. In response, Israel carried out additional airstrikes on southern Lebanon. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah called these attacks massacres in a televised address and vowed retaliation. He admitted that the strike was a significant blow, calling it unprecedented in the history of the resistance in Lebanon. Meanwhile, Israel defended its actions, saying they were necessary responses to Hezbollah's aggression. The Israeli government is signaling its readiness for a wider conflict, with Defense Minister Yoav Gallant even declaring a new era of war. This escalation comes amidst a backdrop of heightened regional tensions, especially following the war in Gaza. The conflict has drawn in Iran-backed militant groups across the Middle East who are pledging support for Palestinians in Gaza and vowing to continue striking Israeli targets. This interconnected web of alliances is raising concerns about a potential spillover of violence and a wider regional conflict. The international community is alarmed. The United Nations Security Council held an emergency meeting to discuss the crisis. The United States, while acknowledging Israel's right to self-defense, has urged restraint and called for a de-escalation of violence. However, both sides seem entrenched in their positions, making a peaceful resolution look pretty uncertain. Meanwhile, the humanitarian situation in both Lebanon and Israel is deteriorating. Thousands of civilians have been displaced from their homes, and access to essential services is becoming increasingly limited. The international community is calling for increased humanitarian aid, but ongoing violence is making it really challenging to deliver assistance. That's the latest on this developing story. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Stay safe, everyone.